What's going on, everybody? This Afro think tank. This is serious. The Israeli military, the Israeli government, is trying to permanently attach themselves legislatively right now to the American military before the midterm elections, because they know that if a competent leader gets into the office, they're going to start detaching it, and they know that the popular sentiment right now is F Israel and everything they're about, because Israel is not America. Even though right now, rich white people in suits and yarmulkes own all of our politicians and are currently destroying our political process right now. They are the parasites within our community. The Israeli, their agenda for greater Israel, their agenda of white supremacy in the Middle East, all right, is not America's agenda. And it's not going to be our youth agenda. And you see, Israel, their government understands that they're no longer popular in the world. They understand that the next president, whether Republican or Democrat, are anti-Israel imperialism, right? And they know that the popular consensus in America, whether you are Republican or Democrat, whether you are all the way left or all the way right, is F Israel and everything they're talking about, because this is America, bitch, right? And since they know that's coming, they're trying to go the back route and attach themselves legislatively to the American government, because we are prepared to rip Israel's teeth off the titty of America. And they can't survive without us. Israel, the country, the fake, false, faux country of Israel, right? The fake country, because it's not a real country, all right, is a forced occupying force from Europe in the Middle East currently right now, going on 70 plus years. It's an occupation. All right. And these people, while getting America and American youth to die for their greater Israel agenda, they're trying to make sure that when, no matter what president gets in that has an anti-Israel, we suck Israel's eggplant all day long and don't question them. If we get an anti-president that's not about that, they want to make sure that legislatively that they are in the weed. They are so connected to American military that they are always protected and funded. That's what this parasite, the Israeli government, is trying to do right now, right? Passing through legislation that none of you guys are paying attention to, because you're distracted by celebrity junk. Because you're distracted by diaspora wars led by grifters like Tariq Nasheed. It's because you're distracted by the games in the arenas meant to distract you on purpose. Football, basketball, soccer, various other sports. Meant to distract the public from the dealings of the government. Yeah. So everybody need to pay attention. That little country over there in Israel that don't really exist, because all them people are from Europe and they need to go back to Poland, France, Ukraine, Russia, where they belong. Those people are currently right now trying to make sure, against the will of the American people, they're trying to attach themselves to the military so they can get all of our intellectual properties, so they can keep all their military funding. Because right now, even though they got us distracting Iran so that they can quietly take parts of Lebanon for themselves, because that's what's happening right now. If you didn't know, right now, they are making sure that the whole play right now is Israel is stealing land from Lebanon, right? But they know if they were to steal land from Lebanon, that Iran would be defending Lebanon. So they needed America to distract Iran by attacking them irrationally, right? In order to deplete Iranians' military capability, keep them distracted, right? Utilizing American blood, utilizing American bodies, American lives, our children's lives, right? Our sacrifice in the name of Israel, so that Israel can send the rest of their soldiers who are already stressed out because they're being forced to steal land from the Palestinians. Now they're being forced to steal land from the Lebanese, who are not giving up. They're not letting it happen. Israeli soldiers are dying. Israel doesn't have that many citizens. There's not that many people in the country. Their military is not as capable as they would have you believe. That's why they need America's might to do their agenda, because they don't have that many soldiers. They're running out of whole peoples, the Israeli military. They need our military to die in sacrifice because they're running out of troops themselves because they have expanded themselves too far, trying to fight 2 wars in 2 different fronts because they got America dropping bombs on their behalf. But if America stopped dropping bombs on their behalf, Israel would cease to exist almost immediately because then the countries in the area would fight back against imperialism and their racism and their illegal warmongering, and they will be dealt with. And Israel can't have that. So they're going to make sure that all the white politicians and black politicians, both Democrat and Republican, that they own via AIPAC, via Citizens United, they're going to do that, and they're going to make sure that they're good to go for the future. At least until as long as they last. Because at the end of the day, nature's still doing the job that we can't do, which is eliminate these guys. Because they're being eliminated naturally. But we need to speed this shit up. All right, these motherfuckers got to go because they are not good for humanity. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
A proposal to merge the U.S. and Israel militaries was just hidden in the 2027 defense bill. Before we dive in, I need to talk about one of the most common responses I'm seeing from many of you. That is, to vote blue or Democrat no matter what. I hate to break it to you, but if you're still uninformed, this is Hakeem Jeffries.
Israel today, Israel tomorrow, Israel forever.
Cory Booker, and Chuck Schumer. A recent estimate shows roughly 65% of all elected officials in Congress have taken money from AIPAC or other Israel-associated PACs. And it's not just elected officials, but also news outlets. Some literally have directives to only report positively on Israel or quit. But over at Interval, we're going to do the exact opposite, so let's dig into the story that we featured as the headline of the weekend. A big part of this proposal is the U.S. military giving its data to Israel. This would allow for joint research, co-production of weapons, AI licensing, shared autonomous weapons, basically a data fusion between the two forces. It would be deeper than any other partnership the US military has. And maybe you remember just a few months ago, Netanyahu said that he officially wants to end the $3 billion in aid Israel gets a year that comes from our tax dollars. And well, this is the sneaky workaround that would allow them to get far more with much more value, just not on paper. Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna have just introduced legislation to push back, but you should know that Massie just got removed from office by record Israel spend on our elections. The $28 million AIPAC just spent in Kentucky is the most ever spent in the history of a House primary. I'm the founder of Interval News. We're on a mission to highlight stories like this that are very, very critical and are getting suppressed or outright censored. If you're interested in the mission, hop over to interval.news and I'll catch you in the next one.
So according to the new Defense Authorization Act that Congress is planning, they're trying to intertwine the U.S.'s military with the IDF, the Israeli military. They're trying to link the two militaries together, including like manufacturing of equipment and sharing of information and everything. They want to intertwine the IDF, the military responsible for the genocide that's going on in Gaza, with the United States military. They want to intertwine them completely. This is treason. Like, our Congress is proposing a bill that is 100% treason. We can't intertwine our military with another country's military. That's not the way things work. If you do that, you are seceding our nation. That is not acceptable under any platform. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck what country it is. If you want to intertwine the U.S. military with another country's military, that's treason. Anyone who signs on or proposes this bill should be arrested for treason immediately.
Welcome to the Daily Download. Congress is quietly trying to merge Israeli military with the United States military, and most Americans have no idea. Inside of the annual bill that sets military spending for the United States was a new provision that would merge the militaries of both the United States and Israel. I wish I could be surprised about this BS, but most of our government is bought off by AIPAC, so it's not surprising anymore. Now, if this bill gets passed, it will unite the United States and Israel at the hip militarily, and it will also give Israel an upper hand when it comes to military information and military data, because we are looking to sharing all military data with them. These two militaries are looking to collaborate on nearly every single military domain. They want to collaborate when it comes to data, all the way up to AI and quantum computing, weapons productions, and weapons research. If this bill passes, Israel will have access to our sensitive information as well as to all of our military technology. And in return, we will have to integrate more Israeli technology into the U.S. military. This merger would literally make Israel our biggest military partner in the world. The United States have defense pacts and defense alliances with, Australia and the UK, and then we have NATO, and then you have a couple others. But the difference between these pacts and these alliances that the United States has with these other countries and what they're proposing with Israel is the fact that they are literally looking to merge the two militaries, making it into one military. And as an anti-imperialist American citizen, this alarms me deeply because Israel has been committing a genocide that the American people and the American government have been funding for the last 3 years. And now we're going to intertwine our militaries together. I don't see us moving forward peacefully with this merger at all. I actually see nothing but death and destruction coming from a merger like this. And the timing of all this is actually quite insane, as it comes after months of war with Iran that Israel dragged us into with false information and lies. And now we're going to integrate with these people who created a war out of false information and lies. Right now, 16% of Americans think that we should continue cooperating with Israel when it comes to funding their genocide. The leaders of the United States are ignoring the fact that Israel is committing a genocide, and they're saying, let's work together anyway. Now, if you want to save the planet and want to stop this as much as I do, please email and contact your senators and your representatives. We still have time to make sure this gets blocked, so let's do the work. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Please continue to like, comment, share, and follow. Thank you.
Congress is about to merge the U.S. military with Israel permanently, and they hid it inside of a 3,000-page bill. Here is exactly what Section 224 of the 2027 NDAA does. It creates something called the U.S. Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative, and what a fucking mouthful that is. One, it forces our generals to give Israel our most advanced military secrets, AI, cyber, biotech, all of it. Two, it literally says the two militaries will share data fusion and network integration. That means your tax dollars will power a single unified war machine. 3, Israel gets to build factories on U.S. soil so that members of Congress cannot vote to cut them off without losing jobs in their own districts. Why should I care? Well, it's not really about defense, is it? It's about making the relationship impossible to break. Former State Department officials are warning that this bill is designed to entrench Israel so deep into America's supply chains that we lose our ability to say no. So the public is waking up to what's happening in Gaza. Israel's facing genocide charges, and the UN just put them on a blacklist for sexual violence. And Congress is like, sounds great, here are the keys to the Pentagon. So unpopular, yet so useful in silencing dissenting voices, right? Kind of fixes the problem of US military personnel not being willing to attack their own people, right? We can just have the most moral military in the world do it. So here's your action item for this week. You need to call your representative this week, not later, as soon as possible. You can even tag them in this post. And you're gonna tell your reps to vote no on NDAA Section 224.
Congress is quietly trying to link the U.S. and Israeli militaries to the National Defense Authorization Act, and it's barely being talked about. Section 224 of the NDAA creates what's called the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. This hidden provision aims to structurally blend the defense sectors and technology of the United States and Israel to an unprecedented degree, moving far beyond traditional financial or military aid packages. The bill directs the Pentagon to appoint a senior executive agent who's tasked with managing and accelerating deep bilateral military-industrial integration. It mandates joint development, network integration, and data fusion across next-generation warfare sectors. This includes AI, autonomous systems, cyber defense, quantum computing, directed energy, and biotechnology. It also builds a legal framework for expanded weapons co-production, joint ventures, and licensing agreements. By expanding Israeli defense manufacturing facilities on U.S. soil, it seeks to deeply embed these partnerships into local U.S. job markets as well. Foreign policy experts are warning this provision would give Israel a more integrated military relationship with Washington than even NATO.
Fuck them again. Fuck them. Them and you is not friend. Fuck them. Them no need to be in your life. So why you making them cause you nothing but trouble and strife? Fuck them.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.